Hello and welcome to this practice, a short practice for when you're feeling flat or blocked, lethargic, or just needing a little extra boost. So for the practice, we will use a yoga mat and a block if you have one. If you don't, you might like to use like a drink bottle or a large book instead. And so you might even like to light a candle and set a little intention for yourself for this to be a practice that's unique to you. You can follow your own way at any time, and with that intention to be calm and grounded, yet uplifted, inspired for this next stage of your day. So come and lay down on your back when you're ready, with your feet pointing up toward the sky, toes pointing up toward the sky, arms just beside your body. Just relax. Feel your body relaxing into the floor. If you need to, if you have a sore back, you could always bring your feet to the floor and the knees bent, just if that feels more comfortable for you. Please feel free to change anytime. And just allowing the back body to feel the support of the floor beneath. And rest into that support. The more that you are able to rest into the support, the more you are able to be supported. Just taking a moment to arrive in the space and observe the sounds within the room that you can hear. Move awareness to the sounds outside of the room. And then back into the room again when you're ready. Observing the sounds and silence in the body. Maybe you can hear the breath. Or maybe there's a gentle pulsing in the heart. You can connect and observe the sound of the pulsing. Maybe there are other sounds in your body. Be free to explore any sounds or silence in your awareness. And you can let the sounds go now. And notice what else it is that you feel in the body. Touching the floor, air on your skin. So the air moving in and out through the nostrils. Observing the body breathing and the sensation in the nostrils. You don't need to change the breath, observing now the sensation in the throat and in the lungs. And you can stay with the natural breath if you prefer, and at any time come back to the natural breath. And otherwise, I'd like to invite you to begin to work with a very gentle toning of the muscles within the throat, just to restrict the throat slightly, and you will therefore be able to hear and feel the sound of the breath like a whisper. And this toning or restriction in the throat will help to offer a slowing down in the breath. And I invite you to work with this breath as slow as feels comfortable for you and equal in and out in its duration. This breath with the sound as a whisper, or maybe even the sound as if you were to take a shell to the ear. Sounds a little like the ocean from a distance. This is known as Ujayi breath. You can stay with Ujayi breath If it feels okay for you for this first stage of the practice, working with the equal in and out breath, and we'll work with arms as well. Together with Ujayi breath, when you're ready, on the inhale, begin to raise the arms. Keep them straight. If the shoulders are sore, maybe pointing fingers up to sky, or back of the hands to the floor behind you, if that feels okay. As you exhale, bring the arms down and beside your body, together with that Ujayi breath, the sound of the ocean in the distance. Inhale to raise. Exhale to release. I'd like to invite you to get curious with this practice, and with every inhale, maybe you find a little more length, slowing the breath right down on the inhale. And on the exhale, keep it at the original pace. So maybe that ends up being just with a little bit more pace than the inhale that could potentially be a little more slow. Just as an option to explore. This is a practice of shaping the breath together with the movement in order to offer a little more life force into the body with every inhale. There's another couple of rounds working with this as a practice. Either with equal duration or that extension of inhale, nice and slow. Let's say that's the last full round that you're working with now. And the next time you bring the arms beside your body, just pausing at the end and allow your body to relax. Letting go of the shaping of the breath and just noticing any changes in how you're feeling. You're not needing to rush in, just taking the moment to be here and observe. No judgment, just as a curiosity of a subtle practice of increasing life force in the body. And if you'd like to, you could bring the knees in toward the chest now and take a hold of the shins or the knees and offer a little rocking from side to side if that feels appropriate for you. You could always stay still if you prefer, or bring feet down onto the ground. Rocking from side to side might offer a little sensation into the lower back. You might pause in an area that feels good, or just keep moving. And when you're ready, I invite you to either bring your feet down onto the floor and roll over to the side to come up, or if it feels okay for you, and especially if you've got a sore back or neck, please do feel free to roll over to the side. Otherwise, you might take the feet up and overhead and find a little rock onto your bottom, and that might be where you stay if that's feeling best for you today. Or rock and roll again, hands underneath the thighs and rocking back onto your back and then the bottom again. And if it feels okay, one more round, and then come over the tops of the feet or take your feet out to the side and come onto your hands and knees. On your hands and knees, with the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Just take a moment to land here. And as you breathe out, begin to take your bottom back toward your heels, elbows down, head hovering, and then push through the feet as you breathe in to draw yourself forward. So if it feels okay for you, moving slowly on the exhale, bottom back toward the heels. And your inhale to draw yourself forward. Just work at your own pace, back and forward. Next time you bring your bottom back towards your heels, I'll invite you to stay there. If it's comfortable, you could walk the hands out in front, or if you need to, you could stack your fists and rest your head on the stack of fists. And just take a moment wherever that feels right for you, just to relax the elbows down if they're out in front. And feel the bottom toward the heels and a stretch in the lower back. If you want to get active here, you could reach the hands as far forward as they can, pushing palms down. And then lift the head when you're ready. Inhale, head and chest to raise. And then exhale, walk the hands out toward the left side and settle the head back down again as you roll the right underarm toward the floor. Just taking the moment here to feel that right side of the chest, the waist, the rib cage. Breathe into that stretch on the right side that you experience while drawing the right sit bone down. Come again to the center when you're ready on the inhale, breathing in and lifting, walking to center, and then breathing out to move over toward the other side. So feel the stretch on the side body. Breathe to that stretch. You can experience a little more with every inhale, filling that space, and exhale to soften and relax. Coming back when you're ready with the head lifting. Inhale, raise the chest and come back to your center position again. In this center position, just take a moment to ground through the hands, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, pushing the fingers, the palms and the knuckles down while the tops of the feet are grounded. Imagine you could take weight onto your back here. So get firm by pushing hands down and lifting chest away from the floor. So firm and strong like a tabletop in the back. And then keep that strength and stability while you extend now the right leg behind you and turn the right toes under. Experiencing the stretch in the calf, maybe in the foot, ankle. And then you can keep the toes on the floor or bring them down anytime. Or if it feels okay, you could lift now the toes off the floor and extend through the right heel back behind you. The leg may be parallel to the floor or maybe just slightly lifted. You might have noticed you'll be engaging your deep abdominal muscles. You could use the top of the left foot pushing down into the floor for further stabilization. And either stay here or raise the opposite hand. So the left hand and the arm would be parallel to the floor if you like, with the thumb pointing up. Reaching now the left fingers in the opposite direction to the right heel, though still strong and firm as if you were like a tabletop in the back. Reaching for this inhale now. And then as you exhale, bring the elbow and the knee in toward each other, rounding into the back. And two more. Breathing in to raise, reach out. Exhale to round in. Inhale to raise and reach out. And this time, stay with the right leg lifted. Bring the left hand down. Then bring the knee underneath the chest. Come onto your fingertips and step the right foot through. That might involve picking up the foot and stepping it out to the side, walking toward the top of the mat, just finding your way into the lunge position. So right foot forward in your lunge. If you have a sore back knee, you might tuck the mat over twice so that you've got a bit of padding there. And then bring your right hand onto the right thigh. So you will need your block nearby. So if you could bring that now toward the right side, that would be helpful for later. And then right hand onto the right thigh to push your way up and lift your body up. Left arm would be loose. Just allow the left arm loose. And then as you breathe in, gently draw the hips forward here. And then breathe out, draw yourself back. Inhale to draw the hips forward, deeper lunge into the knee. Exhale to draw yourself back. Either keep the left arm loose or as you inhale, raise. Reach the arm up and forward. And then as you exhale, bring the hand back down. So option for you to work now with Ujayi breath. That very gentle restriction into the throat. With every exhale coming with the arm down and the body back. Your inhale drawing forward, the exhale drawing back. And this last round, an option to slow your inhale right down, taking in more life force, nice and slow with that Ujayi breath. And stay if it feels okay for you as you continue to breathe. Tucking chin in, drawing chest forward. If it feels okay for your back, you might lean back a little here, lift the chest toward the sky. Just caution for a sore back. Stay with the lean forward if that's with any discomfort for you. And then release. Just for a moment, bring that left hand out and take now the block onto the right hand onto the block. So perhaps on the highest edge, and then raise that left hand up into the air again, breathing into reach up, then lean toward that right side. So you hand onto that right block to offer you now that possibility of leaning to that right side and experiencing the stretch across the left side of the body. So we want to have here the right shoulder, left shoulder aligned to the side of the wall or wherever it is you're facing. Breathe into that stretch on the left side, one more round, and then come out of the shape by bringing the hands onto the floor. Move the block away, maybe to the left side, and then sit your bottom back to the heels with the knees at hip distance apart. So just take a moment here just to rest, allow your body to settle. Remember, the intention of the practice is to be a calm and stable container for the increasing energy as a result of the practice. And so now as you exhale, bottom back toward the heels, experience a stretch again in the lower back. And there might even be a little sigh with your exhale if you would like. We'll go to the other side just when you're ready with your body upright. Your hands, your wrists underneath the shoulders, your knees underneath the hips, your stable base and the palms pushing down, chest lifting up. Tabletop position again. Imagine you could take weight into the back and then extend the left leg back and turn the toes to the floor to experience the stretch in the foot, the calf, the ankle, pushing through the hands and the top of the right foot as your stable base, and then lift the left foot off the floor if it feels okay for you. Reach the heel into the space behind you, navel drawing in, tabletop position, still firm and stable. And then reach the right hand forward if it feels okay for you. Reaching the right fingers forward, thumb pointing up, arm parallel to the floor. Navel switching on, drawing in toward the spine and everywhere within the waist, squeezing in. As you exhale, bring the elbow and the knee in toward each other, rounding into the back. And two more if it feels okay. Breathing into reach. Anytime you need to, bring the right hand down. The exhale to round. Inhale to reach. Last round. This time, right hand down. Exhale with the knee in toward the chest. Come onto your fingertips. Either walk the foot out to the side or step it in between the hands. However it comes, doesn't matter. Onto your fingertips, into the lunge position. Just settle here for a moment. Remember the block to the left side and the left hand onto the left thigh to push through the thigh and lift your body upright. And the right arm this time is loose, just dangling down. And then inhale, just drawing the hips slightly forward. Exhale, coming back. And again, inhale, hips forward. Exhale, hips back. That offering now with the right hand as you inhale, maybe coming up and forward as you exhale, drawing down and body back. And just keep moving at your own pace. Maybe start to switch on your Ujayi breath, that very gentle restriction in the throat, sound of the breath like the ocean. And now on the last round, you could slow the inhale right down. Intention with Ujayi to take in more life force and stay in the shape with the hips down low. Your left hand can stay on that left thigh. Breathe in a way that fills the chest. There might even be a lean back here. And then coming out with the right hand down to set up your block on the left hand. So underneath the left hand now with the block. And your raising of the right hand again to the sky. Breathe in to raise the fingers up, then lean out toward the left side, keeping the shoulders square. So trying to avoid here the right shoulder coming forward. We want to try to keep now the left shoulder in line with the right as you lean toward the left side. Just relax the neck. There might be a yes, no nod here. So we're getting a lateral extension, side of the body, breathing into that side that's stretching while keep pushing through the left foot, strong and grounded in the legs. When you're ready, begin your lift, release, hands to the floor, and then take the front foot back and sit your bottom down again in toward the heels. Just be here now with your body bowing forward over the earth as a stable base and foundation to grow from. Just taking a moment now to get yourself up when you're ready. Inhale back to the center. Exhale to steady in your base. Tabletop position again, and a roll through the spine. As you breathe in, raise the chest forward. And as you exhale, tuck the tail under and round into the back. And keep going. Breathing in to raise the chest forward. Lift the tailbone up. Exhale to tuck your tail and round into the back. I'm going to invite you to add to this if you want to. It might be that you just stay with these wave-like motions in the spine, or on the next inhale, turn the toes under. And as you come through neutral on exhale, then lift the knees up off the floor. And you could continue that as you inhale, bring the knees down to the floor, chest forward, tail to raise. And your exhale, tucking chin in and then lifting knees up. Maybe there's one or two more rounds like this. And an invitation to find your way back to downward facing dog, just if that feels right for you. You could step the feet further away, bend into the knees, lift the sit bones high as you press through the hands and the fingertips. Beginning to straighten the legs, just if it feels right. Otherwise, keep the knees bent. Either way, drawing the heels toward the floor. This is Adho Mukha Svanasana. And you're inverted with your head a little lower than your heart, and you will feel that flooding in of fresh oxygenated blood to the head while strong, stable in your body. This is energizing. Walking the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands and lift up to halfway, breathing in. And then open mouth, release, forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale to raise and lift up to halfway. Again, maybe with the sighs, you exhale to forward fold. Last round. So that's sigh to release. Feel free, if you haven't already, to work with the sigh, and that sound encourages vibration of the cells that's calming. And this is useful for the vagus nerve. Toning of the vagal nerve through sighing helps to encourage our body to recognize this as a sign to relax. Parasympathetic nervous system to support your increasing of life force in the body. Alrighty, so just when you're ready, I invite you to separate the feet, bend into the knees, and sit your bottom in between the heels. If that doesn't feel okay, just bring your bottom all the way down to the floor, and your feet could be out in front. You just feel free in a squat position that's right for you. And then find indeed your bottom when you're ready, and walking on your sit bones so that you can come forward with your feet on the floor, out in front, and your knees bent, and your hands underneath the thighs. Lift the chest when you breathe in, and then slowly lean back when you breathe out. It might be your hands come to the floor. You might roll to the side. Any way that you like, come and lay down on your back. I invite you to bring your block nearby. So just kicking it up if you need to And just take a moment to rest your back onto the floor. We're not going to be getting up in this practice again, so you feel free to get comfortable here. Feet on the floor, knees bent, and just noticing for the moment your natural curves in the spine. Tailbone, back of pelvis, lower back, middle back, upper back, back of the neck, top of the spine. And just allow this moment now, back of the body, completely relaxed. And now take your block in between the thighs, just if you feel that's okay for you. Don't worry about it. You don't have to do that if it's not comfortable for you. Arms beside the body, chin in toward the chest. Just take a moment, grounding through the feet. Kneecaps pointing up, squeezing the block in between the thighs, just to maintain the block in its position. Will help to activate the muscles on the inner thigh and into the pelvic floor to support you in this now bridge flow. You can keep the hips down for now. As you breathe in, raise the arms. Keep the arms straight, the back of the hands to touch the floor. And as you exhale, bring the arms down beside your body. Using Ujayi breath again, a gentle restriction in the throat. This time as you inhale, option to raise the arms and the hips off the floor, back of the hands to come to the space behind you as you lift the hips. And as you exhale, slowly rolling the spine back down. Invitation to keep going. Your inhale to raise the hips. You might slow the inhale right down. You just work if it feels okay for you with a longer, slower inhale, and maybe the exhale stays at the same initial pace. So a little faster on exhale and slower on the inhale. Remember, the practice intends to offer a little brightening, increasing of life force. You would be working with that if you were feeling flat, needing a little boost. Last round, and could you slow it right down? Going to invite you to stay with the hips up, and then as you exhale, bring the arms down beside your body. Keep the feet pushing, squeezing the block. Maybe take a hold of the hands underneath the body. Walk to the outer edges of the shoulders. Please take care not to turn your head in this position. You might, if you need to watch the demonstration, look at it when you come down. Breathe into the chest, chest toward the chin, then release the hands clasped, and then roll the spine back down onto the floor. And steady, removing the block. Avoid any wriggles, just be here now, a stable container for the increasing life force. Chin drawing down. You might have sensation in the throat and the chest, though that might be subtle. That is the energy body uplifting. It's known as pranayama. And if you're ready, you could bring the knees in toward the chest. Take a hold of the shins or the knees, and another rock from side to side. And this might be where you stay. Or you could bring the feet to the floor, arms out to the sides, feet out wide, and take the knees toward the right side as you breathe out, and then knees into the center as you breathe in. Moving knees to the right on the exhale, and then inhale center, and you can go, if you like, a couple of rounds each side. This might help to release any tension in the back. Not a big focus of twists today, as the intention is to maintain an uplifting. And so I invite you just to take a moment to find your way into Savasana and maintain that sense of brightness, though calm and relaxed. If you need to and you want to settle in Savasana, please feel free to grab any props that you need. This might be your position now, or make any last changes to the position so that you're really comfortable and able to rest. Feeling the back of the body supported by the floor, while the front of the body is lifting. light and bright. And while the eyes may be closed, you'll notice the brightness in the space from the light coming through the closed eyes. Feeling and sensing the warmth and light all around you. Feel it maybe as a tingling upon the skin. And as you breathe in, draw that light, vibrancy into the body through the skin to the center of the chest. And as you exhale, feel it move out again through the pores of the skin into the space that surrounds. And continue breathing in to draw upon the energy from all around into the center of the chest. Exhale, feel it move back out and energize, cleanse, and clear each of the cells on its journey. Effortless with the breath, though, awareness moving fresh life force into the chest. And while each exhale, it returns to the space around, energizing on its way out. One more round, pulling in from in all directions to the center of the chest. And then rest your awareness in this space behind the sternum. As the significance of the breath fades away, though you're still with the awareness of the body, energized yet calm and grounded. So if you'd like to finish your practice and remain here, please feel free. I encourage you to stay in this position just for as long as it feels comfortable for you to do so. And when you're ready to finish your practice, I invite you to finish that in the way that feels meaningful to you. That might be with some journaling. You might be writing a list of the things that you're grateful for or that you're looking forward to, or reflecting on how you're feeling today. Thanks for practicing with me. The front of the hips, the legs, the abdomen, hip flexors, the psoas muscle. This is where we do hold quite a lot of tension. And so this can be a great way to release the tension. But if you observe that sharp sensation in the lower back, or even like a pinching feeling in the lower back, that might indicate that you've taken this shape too far. And you could lower the height of the block, or you could step the feet in. Just if you feel that discomfort in the lower back, please feel free to move, change the shape anytime. There's no need to push through the sort of discomfort that shortens your breath or creates a frown in your brow. See if you can relax the eyebrows, the eyes, and the face. Let the jaw hang and return to the observation of the breath. Remember, if breath awareness is not helpful for you, just turn your attention instead to sound or other sensations as an anchor to your otherwise wandering mind. And I invite you with now silence in this shape for a couple of minutes. Pull your awareness back into the body. Noticing those changes in how the body is feeling here. Whichever of the variations you've taken. And if you have the legs extended, I invite you to very gently, perhaps one at a time, slide the heels back onto the floor, bending each knee in turn, grounding through the feet, slowly lifting the hips as you push the feet down and take the block away and roll the spine back down onto the floor. Just taking a moment now to land and ground before making any changes. Again, stable base. And if it feels okay, you could bring the knees in toward your chest. Take another hug. And maybe even bring the knees, the head up toward the knees. Form a tight little ball. And then roll the head back down. If there's anything else the body feels like it needs, please feel free. It might be that you extend the knees away from each other and rock from side to side with the wide knees. And you might take that into another gentle twist, or if you feel ready to, I invite you to find your way into Savasana, a resting shape with any props that you need. It might be that you use a blanket on the body or a bolster under the knees or cushion for the head. You just take the time now to find the position for your body to rest within and relax. Make any last changes now to your position so that you are indeed relaxed. Any last bits of tension in the body letting go now. Become aware of the space in which your body is laying. And imagine, feel a sense there's an ocean of energy in the space all around you. And you can feel it touching your skin, tingling as it does. Now, when you're ready, as you breathe in, imagine you can draw that through the pores of the skin and into the center of the chest.